Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavna. In this lecture, we are going to continue with the topic called as human health and disease. So in the last class, we already have started about this chapter, that is human health and diseases. What we have discussed, I'm going to revise for you all what I have discussed in the last class. So in the last class, we have done about what is health first of all. Health is a complete physical, mental, as well as social well-being of the person. That is, these three are basically included: physical, mental, as well as social well-being. These three contribute to the health. This health is definition was given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. These three states should be present for a good health, as well as if there are disorders which are associated with the health, which will affect the health, that is genetic disorders, lifestyle, as well as infections. If we are suffering from infections, these all will affect the health. But when it comes to what are the factors which promote the good health, these are the factors which decrease our health, that is, which will not promote good health. But now we are going to discuss what are the factors which promote good health. Balanced diet should be proper, personal hygiene should be there, as well as good exercise, as well as good diet. Everything should be there for promoting the good health. If anything, if any one of this is absent, then it leads to a disease. So what is the disease basically? Disease means it is commonly affected by pathogens. A disease causing organism is also called as pathogen. There are numerous pathogens which are affected. That is bacteria, fungi, protozoans, viruses. These all will contribute to disease causing organisms. These all are disease causing organisms. They cause numerous diseases. As well as we have seen, diseases are classified into infectious diseases as well as non-infectious diseases. Infectious means which are transmitted from one person to another. What is the most common infectious disease? Is nothing but AIDS. The non-infectious diseases means which are not transmitted from one person to another. That is, which are not transmitted from one person to another is cancer. It is the most fatal disease and it is not transmitted from one person to another. So we have seen numerous bacteria, fungi, viruses, protozoans. These all will affect our human health. When it comes to bacteria first, we have started with typhoid. So in the typhoid, which will cause typhoid is nothing but Salmonella typhi. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. It is a bacterium which causes typhoid fever. What are the symptoms which are associated? You will get high fever, as well as full stomach pain will be there. You will get so much of headache. These all are the symptoms which are associated. Headache, fever, as well as constipation, loss of appetite. Loss of appetite means you will not feel hungry. So loss of appetite, as well as you will get full of stomach pain. Weakness will be there. Weakness. These are the main factors which are associated with typhoid. These symptoms only you will see. If all these symptoms are present, then you will go and get tested with a test which is called as Weidel test. Weidel test. So then it will be proved whether you are having, if these bacteria are present in your small intestine, then you are suffering from typhoid. So where they are is small intestine. They are residing in the small intestine. So if they are residing in the small intestine, later they will move to brain also. if they are going and residing in the brain, or else if they are perforating the intestine. Perforating means if they are in the intestine, if they are making numerous holes, that is called as intestinal perforation. So intestinal perforation may lead to death also for human beings. So these are the main factors which are associated with typhoid. How is this typhoid spread? It will spread through contaminated food and water. If you consume the contaminated where bacteria are present, whatever the roadside food you eat and all, street foods and all, you will be suffering from typhoid. So you should take utmost care to eat in good hygienic places. So headache, fever, constipation, loss of appetite, stomach pain, weakness, as well as Weidel test is generally used small intestine. Intestinal perforation, as well as if it moves to brain, it is highly fatal. How it is spread is through contaminated food and water. How this way came into play? That is from one cook who is cooking. Her name is Typhoid Mary. From her, it is spread to numerous parts of the world. First, she was the one who was suffering from typhoid. Later, it spread to full world from her only, because she was a cook by profession, and from her it spread to numerous who ate her food. It subsided. That is, it went to numerous places. So this is about the typhoid. Next, another bacterium we are going to see. That is nothing but another bacterial disease which is common is pneumonia. So in this pneumonia, basically pneumonia means this will infect the alveoli of the lungs. It will not affect the respiratory passage. That is, it will not infect the nose or trachea. It will directly affect the alveoli of the lungs. Alveoli of the lungs are affected in pneumonia. If a person is suffering from pneumonia, from whom it spread? It will generally spreads through droplets. That is, if someone sneezes, it will spread from one person to another. Or else if you're touching some towels or using some contaminated objects, and on that numerous droplets are present, this pneumonia will easily spread. It will spread mainly through air as well as through droplets. So air as well as through droplets from the infected person. That is, from the infected person, it is spread to numerous other people. So it affects usually the alveoli of the lungs. What are the symptoms which are associated with that of pneumonia? Main symptoms which are affected are, you will see fever, high fever will be there. Then cough. Anything which is related to lungs or anything, first you will get cough and cold only. So fever, cough, cold, weakness and chills. Chills means what? You will be suffering from numerous chills. Like that, you will feel very cold and your body will be shivering. That is called as chills. So fever, cough, cold, weakness, chills. It will mainly affect the alveoli of the lungs, not the respiratory passage. So this is spread by bacterium that is called as Haemophilus influenza. Haemophilus influenza as well as Streptococcus pneumonia. Streptococcus pneumonia. It is usually spread through Haemophilus influenza as well as Streptococcus pneumonia. These are the two main bacterium which cause pneumonia, and these are the symptoms, how it spreads. As well as if it is highly, like in some people it is highly fatal, then the skin as well as nails will become bluish in color. Main thing, important point of view that you should remember for NEET is skin as well as nails in severe cases turn bluish in color. That is lips also. Skin, nails as well as lips, everything will turn bluish in color. So this is about the pneumonia. What points we have discussed, again we will go in an order to remember very well. First, what are the bacteria which are associated with pneumonia? Streptococcus pneumonia is one bacterium. It is not Staphylococcus, it is Streptococcus pneumonia as well as Haemophilus influenza. These are the two bacterium which cause pneumonia. Because pneumonia is a bacterial disease, it is caused by bacteria. Next, which part of the body it affects mainly? So it affects the alveoli of the lungs. Lungs will have separate bag-like structures called as alveoli. So they will directly affect the alveoli of the lungs. Then how it is spreading from one person to another? Through air it is spreading, or through droplets of the infected person it is spreading from one place to another. Then what are the main symptoms which are associated? That is fever, cough, as well as weakness, cold, fever, cough, cold, chills, as well as weakness. These are the main symptoms which are associated. Remember the symptoms properly, because they'll give you as which, they'll give you numerous symptoms and they will ask you how you are going to treat, or how your which disease it is from. So all the symptoms you should remember. For typhoid, full stomach pain, weakness, as well as fever. For everything, fever is common, but the main symptoms here is cough and cold. For typhoid, main symptoms is stomach pain, as well as you'll see loss of appetite, as well as headache. Those are the main symptoms. So for each disease you should remember the numerous symptoms. As well as in severe cases, the skin, nails as well as lips, they turn bluish in color in severe cases. In which parts of the body they turn bluish in color is skin, lips and nails, and which disease is pneumonia. So this is about the two main bacterial diseases which we have discussed, that is typhoid as well as pneumonia. The another important point that you should remember is there are numerous bacterial diseases also, like dysentery, diarrhea, cholera, as well as numerous other bacterial diseases will be there. But just restrict yourselves to NEET textbook. So these are the two main bacterial diseases which are mostly asked in your NEET. As well as another diseases, simply you should remember whether they are bacterial or viral. So dysentery, diarrhea, plague, diphtheria, all are bacterial diseases itself and they are caused by bacteria. So this is about the main bacterial diseases. Next we will go to fungal diseases. Fungal. So what are the main fungal diseases which humans are affected? Till now we are done with bacteria. Now what are the fungal diseases? Numerous fungal diseases will be there, but mainly it may be candida. Candida also will cause in the mouth numerous fungal diseases. So candida, albicans will cause the fungal disease, as well as whatever are given in your full body, that is in your NEET textbook about the full body, is what are the fungi which cause the fungal diseases. They are nothing but trichoderma, microsporum, or epidermophyton. Trichoderma, microsporum as well as epidermophyton. These are the three fungi which mainly cause the fungal diseases. Microsporum, trichophyton as well as epidermophyton. These are the three fungal diseases which are associated with that of humans, as well as another fungi also will be there, that is nothing but candida. These are the main fungi which affect the humans. So mainly what are the symptoms which are associated? Like there will be full dry scaly lesions on your body. Dry scaly lesions. Dry, the skin will become dry, as well as scaly lesions. All the ringworm diseases which you are suffering, these all are caused by this fungi only. Microsporum, trichophyton as well as epidermophyton. These are the three main fungi which are called as ringworms. These are called as ringworm diseases. So dry scaly lesions will appear. Mostly where they will appear? Near the groin of the toes. Near the groin of toes. As see in between the toes, in the legs, on the legs in between the toes, you will see these numerous fungal diseases, as well as on the scalp you can see, as well as on the nails. Scalp, nails. Mostly you see in groin of the toes. Sometimes you can see on the scalp as well as nails also. So this is about the main fungal diseases. Then what is the main symptom is you will suffer from intense itching sensations. So itching sensations. You will mainly suffer from itching sensations of the body. So itching sensations you will see. Then later you will see dry scaly lesions, as well as heat and moisture in your body. So much of heat will be generated. So during summer and all, heat and moisture help these fungi to survive. Heat and moisture will help the fungi to survive. Heat and moisture. So how it is generally spread? It is spread if you walk on bare grounds. That is, if you walk on soil and all, it will spread nicely. So contaminated soil. So it usually spreads through contaminated soil. So this is about the main fungal diseases, that is microsporum, trichoderma as well as epidermophyton. These are the three main fungal diseases which are associated. Then candida also is the main fungi which cause numerous ringworm diseases. These all fungi will cause numerous ringworm diseases, as well as numerous dry scaly lesions will be present on the body. Numerous dry scaly lesions, as well as they are mostly seen on the groin of the toes as well as scalp, nails. How it is usually spread? Where do you see is the most important question, that is groin of the toes as well as skin as well as nails. These are the three main parts where it is seen. Then how it is usually spread? It is spread through contaminated soil. If you walk without shoes or something on bare grounds, then it will usually enter your body, these fungi. Full they will appear and they cause numerous itching sensations. They appear as dry red scaly lesions and they will cause numerous itching sensation, as well as heat and moisture. The heat and moisture which is present will help these fungi to grow. During unfavorable conditions also these fungi will grow. So these points are very important in each point of view. So we have discussed about the two main diseases, that is nothing but bacterial diseases as well as fungal diseases. Next we are going to viruses. So when you start with viral diseases, again there will be numerous viral diseases which are affecting the humans. But what they have given is only about the common cold as well as malaria. So in the common cold, common cold is usually caused by virus. Common cold. It is caused by a group of viruses called as rhinoviruses. Rhinovirus. Then next, another important point which you should remember is what are the symptoms which are associated with common cold. What are the symptoms? Symptoms which are associated with that of common cold is nothing but fever, cough, headache, cold, same symptoms of that pneumonia only. Fever, cough, headache, chills, everything are same. But the important differentiation between these is nothing but fever, cough, headache as well as cold. What is the important differentiation between pneumonia and common cold is these infect only the respiratory passage. They infect only the respiratory passage. They will not infect the that is nose as well as the respiratory passage. Till the lungs it will affect, but after later it will not affect the lungs. Only till the respiratory passage it will be affected. Lungs are not affected, but in pneumonia the nose as well as respiratory passage is not affected. Directly the lungs are affected. But here in common cold, normally you see common cold, everyone will be suffering due to change of season. So this is caused by rhinoviruses as well as they infect only the respiratory passage but not the lungs. This is the important point which you should remember. Then later, another point which you should remember is how it spreads usually. It spreads through droplets. Droplets from the infected person. It will spread through droplets from the infected person. Suppose, or if you are sharing some towels or bed sheets with the infected person who is suffering from cold, then you will also easily susceptible to common cold. So you should be very careful when a person is suffering from cold. You should maintain some distance because it usually spreads through droplets or through air. So that point you should remember. Then how long it will last? It will usually last for 3 to 7 days, common cold. Other pneumonia and all, if you are treated only, you can survive. But common cold, if whether you are treated or whether you are not treated, it usually lasts for 3 to 7 days. So it usually lasts for 3 to 7 days. So these are the main points that you should remember for that of common cold. So common cold is usually caused by rhinoviruses. It usually spreads through droplets, that is through or through air mainly. It usually lasts for 3 to 7 days. Then what are the symptoms which are associated? That is nothing but fever, cough, headache as well as cold. Then where it will infect usually? It will infect the nose as well as the respiratory passage. That's why for you it will somewhat get difficult to breathe also when you are suffering from cold, as well as you will feel so much of tiredness. You will feel like sleeping. This all is due to the virus which is associated with it, as well as it will usually last for 3 to 7 days. So these are the main things that you should remember for that of common cold. Another important thing is that you should remember is about the next disease called as malaria. This is also caused by the famous plasmodium parasite. Mosquito will act as a vector in transmitting the disease, but the main one is protozoan, that is protozoan is plasmodium. This is also is caused by a protozoan called as Plasmodium. Plasmodium vivax. There are numerous things. Plasmodium vivax, falciparum, as well as malaria, as well as ovale. These are the four things which are associated with that of malaria. Plasmodium vivax, falciparum, malaria, ovale. Which is the most dangerous one? The most dangerous one is falciparum. Is the most dangerous, which is associated with that of malaria. Plasmodium falciparum is highly fatal, which will cause. So first, how this cycle begins. Basically, the mosquito, the infected mosquito, will come and bite the human beings. So how it is transferred basically? If the first the mosquito will bite the infected person. So from the infected person to the other person it is carrying. So when it is carrying, first it will enter into the humans. That is, the mosquito will bite the humans. So when mosquito bites the humans, mosquito first will bite the humans. Then all the Plasmodium falciparum or malaria which it is carrying, everything will enter into the liver cells. First, liver cells of humans. First it will attack the liver cells. From the liver cells, they are transferred into RBCs. That is red blood cells. What are those which transferring? Directly Plasmodium is not transferred. It is transferred to sporozoites. Sporozoites. What are these sporozoites? These sporozoites are nothing but the another form of Plasmodium. First, when it enter into the humans, this is the infective stage of humans. This is the important neat question which you should remember. What is the infective stage of humans in malaria? It is sporozoites. So these sporozoites will go and attack the liver cells. Then they will attack the RBCs, that is red blood cells. Then later a hemozoin. Then hemozoin is released from these RBCs. Hemozoin is released basically. This hemozoin will break down numerous RBCs. Again the mosquito, another mosquito which will come and bite the humans. Again it is transferred into the mosquito to spread to other human beings. So again it is transferred. First, now it will go to mosquito. Due to the hemozoin which is released in the human's body, the humans will suffer from fever as well as chills, high fever as well as chills for 3 to 4 days. Later when they take tablets it will subside. So high fever as well as chills are the main symptoms which are associated. High fever as well as chills are the main symptoms which are associated with that of malaria. So due to the release of a pigment called as hemozoin. So the patient will be suffering for every 3 to 4 days, fever will occur, and then after you take tablets it will reside. But in the meantime, if another mosquito will come and bite this infected person, again the sporozoites will enter the mosquito. But now they are not entering as sporozoites. They are entering as gametocytes. Gametocytes. So this is the infective stage of mosquito. What is the infective stage of humans? It is sporozoites. What is the infective stage of mosquito? It is gametocytes. That is the important point you should remember. Again in the mosquito, it will enter into the salivary glands. Then again sporozoites are formed. Again this cycle will repeat. So this is the main point that you should remember regarding the malaria. So malaria, what are the symptoms? Means high fever as well as chills, reoccurring for every 3 to 4 days. High fever will be there as well as full you will be shivering due to the release of pigment that is called as hemozoin from the RBCs. First, Plasmodium. What are the protozoans which are associated with that of malaria is Plasmodium vivax, falciparum, malaria as well as ovary. Which is highly fatal is Plasmodium falciparum. So first, mosquito will bite the humans from an infected person. First, mosquito will come and bite the humans. First, it is entering as a sporozoid. So, infective stage of man is sporozoids. It will enter into liver cells, then into RBCs, then into finally they release the pigment. Again, the mosquito, another mosquito may come and bite or no from the infected person. Again, it will enter into mosquito. While it is entering, it is called as gametocyte. So, infective stage of mosquito is gametocyte. Then it will enter into salivary glands. Then from salivary glands, again it is transferred into human beings. So, like that, this mosquito will act as a host in transmitting the numerous diseases. The main protozoan which is associated with that of malaria is nothing but Plasmodium. And humans are the host. Mosquito is the vector. Protozoan is the parasite, which Plasmodium is a protozoan which helps in transferring the numerous diseases from one human beings to other. So this is about the another disease which is called as malaria. In the next class we are going to deal about the rest of the other diseases which are associated with that of protozoan.